These Bears running back rumors are out of control. I think it's time for a salary cap update. Can we even afford to sign one of these free agent running backs right now? After nearly a week of hearing every Nick Chubb rumor under the sun, now all the rumors are shifting gears and everyone's talking about the Bears now going after JK Dobbins. So first it was the Chicago Bears are close to signing Nick Chubb. The Bears are going all in on Nick Chubb. And now it's the Bears are close to signing JK Dobbins. What's up, guys? We're disregarding those rumors today. And I wanted to talk about the Bears salary cap, give an update on TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon's contract extension details, and talk about whether or not the Bears can even afford to sign a player such as JK Dobbins or Nick Chubb. The truth is that while the cap is always fluid, the Bears do have the flexibility to potentially sign a running back. But I do not believe any of these rumors to be true at this time. I believe the Bears have other priorities right now, such as seeing what they have out of this undrafted free agent class, figuring out how our rookies fit into the depth chart, extending Joe Thuney, and a lot more. To me, I think the free agent running back talk right now is just more of a media thing, but I wouldn't rule out us signing someone before camp. But let's go ahead and look at our updated salary cap figures as of today. Currently, the Bears set with roughly $11.5 million in cap space, with the projected rookie contracts totaling somewhere around $13.29 million, meaning technically we're projected to be about $2 million over the salary cap after we get done signing these rookies. And a lot of people have already started jumping to conclusions, talking about which players are going to be cut. So I did want to quickly show off the players that could be cut candidates and how much money they would save us. Ryan Bates is probably the biggest name, although right now he is a key backup on this offensive line as long as he's healthy. The biggest potential savings for me would come from defensive tackle Chris Williams. He did have a lot of good reps last year, but with a potential savings of $3.2 million and his spot on this 53-man roster not a lock, he is a name to watch to clear out some cap space. A lot of other guys that could save us roughly a little more than $1 million. Guys like Nick McLeod, Dominique Robinson, Elijah Hicks, Sean Wade, Nashawn Wright, Amir Speed, and a couple others. So even though a lot of people have the Bears projected with negative cap space right now, we have plenty of flexibility to get under the cap, even without cutting anyone. And I think this is what most people are missing, as they try to figure out who we're going to cut. First, the most important number to look at here is the salary cap hits for our rookies after factoring in the top 51 contracts on the roster. Basically, the Bears rookies will only account for roughly $8.25 million against the cap this year, meaning the Bears would have roughly $3.2 million in cap space even if all the rookies sign their expected deals, and most of them should, as NFL rookie contracts are slotted. So we don't actually need to cut anyone right now. And once we get to training camp, a few of those guys probably won't make the roster anyway. So naturally, we will clear some cap space by cutting players in August and getting down to the 53-man roster. But right now, the biggest way for Ryan Poles to create additional cap space is by extending Joe Thuney. He has a cap hit of $16 million this year, and he's in the last year of his deal. We're in a perfect position right now to give him a backloaded contract extension. We have nearly $40 million in cap space for 2026 and nearly $170 million in 2027. I fully expect Joe Thuney to get extended before the season starts, and I also believe this extension will actually free up some additional cap space for 2025. And a lot of people are wondering how extensions like that work. Well, you can really see it when you look at TJ Edwards' extension, but we also got details on Kyler Gordon's as well. Just like I expected, Ryan Poles did these extensions while creating a bit of extra flexibility. He didn't add any additional salary cap hits in 2025. Kyler's cap hit in 2025 is just $4.6 million before jumping up to $13.3 million in 2026, 2027, and 2028. Similar with TJ Edwards. His cap hit is actually lowered to just $5.3 million this year before jumping to $10.8 in both 2026 and 2027. To put those in perspective, I also put Jonah Jackson's contract on the screen as well. His contract was not written by Ryan Poles. That's important to remember. He signed a free agent deal with the Rams in 2024, and Ryan Poles traded for him, and then he restructured the deal, added 1 year on the contract, and he wrote an out in for 2027. Basically, he just moved the cap hits around a little bit, put the biggest hit next season, while allowing us to get out of it in 2027. We can also get out of TJ Edwards' contract as well. Both Jonah Jackson and TJ Edwards have outs in their contract for 2027. We would save $8.5 million by cutting Edwards, and we could save $13.5 million by cutting Jonah Jackson after 2026. Meanwhile, Kyler Gordon's contract is the one that's the most straightforward. He should be a key piece of this defense heading into the future. So what Ryan Poles has done here is somehow managed to keep our flexibility going forward despite all the big money he's spent over the last year. He gave out some big money contracts to guys like Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson, Drew Dahlman, Grady Jarrett, Kyler Gordon, and more, and then also traded for some big contracts like Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson. But we've still maintained a lot of flexibility going forward. Although anyone expecting major moves in next year's free agency period might end up being a little bit disappointed. I think this year's free agency class was basically 2 years in one. By adding Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Grady Jarrett, and Dayo Odangbo, bringing in all those big contracts paired with the recent contract extensions have taken a huge chunk out of our available resources for 2026. We were slated to have the most cap space in the NFL next season, but after all the moves Poles has made in just the last 2 months, the Bears are currently projected to have under $40 million in cap space in 2026. And that is before signing Joe Thuney to an extension. Thuney could add an additional $20+ million against the cap next season, meaning we could have less than $20 million in cap space to operate with next offseason. The good news is we still have plenty of ways to create additional cap space if needed. And most of the holes on our roster are already filled. But depending on how 2025 plays out, we can still make some big moves next offseason. We can restructure the contracts of Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson, or Cole Kmet, and then we have some potential really big cap hits. The big one is Tremaine Edmunds, but also some other guys like Cairo Santos, Josh Blackwell, and others. But Tremaine Edmunds is the guy heading into this season with the most to prove. He has the potential to be a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker, but so far he simply has not lived up to his contract status in his first 2 years in Chicago. But with Dennis Allen running things now, Edmunds is going to have every opportunity to get back on track and take his play to a Pro Bowl level. But if that does not happen, his contract was written with an out to save $15 million in cap space next offseason. So even if Tremaine does have a pretty good year, he could still end up being a cap casualty depending on what direction this team wants going forward. I've always been a fan of Tremaine, and I think he can be one of the better linebackers in the league, but he needs to have a big year if he wants to stay in Chicago long term. Those are simply the facts right now. But the greatest news for me is that the Bears still have plenty of flexibility as we look at the future of this football team. Right now, we're just in a really good position. Most of our starters are under contract for at least another year or two, and right now, when you look towards 2027 and beyond, the future of this football team is in incredible shape. The Nick Chubb rumors were literally out of control all week, and now you look around and the same people who said Nick Chubb to the Bears is a lock are now saying that the Bears are going after JK Dobbins. So what happened there, we're not going to really ask, but currently I don't think we're close to signing any running back. I believe Ryan Poles will keep his eye on the market and will probably bring someone in closer to camp. But right now, most of these stories are complete nonsense, especially the ones saying the Bears are all in on Nick Chubb. Look, we're not all in on anybody right now, except our draft picks. But I wanted to get this quick salary cap update out there for you guys and just mention the running back rumors that are going crazy everywhere. I appreciate everyone who watches. Please hit that like button for me. I have a ton more content on the way. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.